There's a comedy thriller next Saturday afternoon at 5 to 1. Leslie Banks and John Mills keep the home fires burning in a cottage to let.
Wolfgang Weber, an artist who dares to get close. Because getting close counts. Across the page, across the globe, follow an animal artist who knows no bounds. Whether it be bird or bear. Hidden Kingdoms, a brush with nature. Tonight at 8 on 4.
Hit by January's bad weather, the Great Yorkshire Chase is the rescheduled highlight of a full afternoon's card at Doncaster. Channel 4 Racing is next.
So what is the secret of Frisky's Go-Cat? Nuggets with herring for muscle tone, tuna for good eyesight, and vegetables to complete the meal. Frisky's Go-Cat is a complete meal, as tasty as it is crunchy. Frisky's Go-Cat, for cats with an appetite for life.
Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air, every sight and every sound. Oh, love is in the air, love is in the air. Oh, 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 oh. Love is in the air.
Maurice Boundy of Aldridge Crescent did it on Tuesday.
I did it.
Mrs. Boundy is still in shock.
I'm in shock.
Lorraine did it for Frankie last night.
I did.
It was so good that Frankie proposed.
I did.
Despite working late, Ms. Kate Spring did it with pan flair. Bird's eye pan flair. Tender chicken breast, vegetables and a tarragon sauce, all freshly frozen by Bird's Eye. You just add milk and stir to perfection. It's a brilliant new way to cook.
I did it.
It was so good, Carl doesn't believe it.
I don't believe it.
Chicken jardiniere for 2 in minutes. Do it with pan flair from Bird's Eye.
All right! Whoa! I can't go out like this, man. I mean, I'm naked. Sure, I'm smooth, but I need a look. Aha! Now, let's see. Stripes. Ugh. Red? No. The check's quite nice. Oh, no. Ah! Can I get away with that? Of course I can! Wow! Cooler than a snowman's cold bits.
Polo Spearmint. Cool look, cool taste.
The British and their cars.
You know, cars is just like a woman. You can't expect results by feeding her any old juice.
They're confident.
I'm not getting the acceleration I used to.
They're reckless. Take a trip down memory lane, celebrate 100 years of motoring in Britain. Motormania starts Tuesday at 8 on 4. Motormania, the life of your drive.
Odds on, it's 4.
Hello, it's the start of one of the most enjoyable and important months in the racing calendar. It's the start of March and it's a busy old time for the Channel 4 racing team. Next Saturday, we've got the Imperial Cup at Sandown. After that, we go to Cheltenham for the 3-day festival meeting, the best national hunt meeting in the world. After that, it's the Midlands National at Uttoxeter, then back here to Doncaster for the start of the Flat and, of course, the Lincoln Handicap. And then we fly to the Middle East to bring you the richest horse race in the world, the Dubai World Cup. And it all starts here at Doncaster, where the big race today is the £30,000 Pertemps Great Yorkshire Chase. And on the programme this afternoon, it's a nice mixture of steeplechasing and hurdling. The Great Yorkshire is one of 2 races over the bigger obstacles. The other is the Mitsubishi Shogun, and that's at 3:35. And starting and finishing the programme, we've got races over hurdles. And although we've only got 35 runners in all today, they have won 262 races between them. And if you're talking prolific winners, then you're talking Cab on Target and Dextra Dove. Cab on Target has won 17 of his 32 races, and although he didn't like the soft ground last time out, he'll love the faster ground here at Doncaster today as he tries to win the Yellow Publications Handicap Hurdle for the 2nd year running. And another horse looking for his 18th victory this afternoon is Dextra Dove, the Flying Grey, who's won 7 out of his last 8 races, and he's the hot favourite for our big race, the Potemps Great Yorkshire. But there's also Too Good to Be True, who's won 2 races this season. He's won 11 altogether, and over £50,000 in prize money for his owner, who just happens to be our Channel 4 colleague, Jim McGrath. Jim, what chance of winning some more prize money this afternoon?
Well, on the form book, he has to have a decent chance. It's not just me that thinks so. Plenty of the so-called pundits think so. But ideally, he'd preferred softer ground, but you can't have everything. The horse is well, and we're hoping for the best.
Yep, we hope for the best as well, Jimbo. The going is good to firm, good in places here at Doncaster, and we get underway with Cab on Target in the 3-mile handicap hurdle. Jockeys are up, they're going down to post for that. Go Universal goes for the 6-timer in the 2.5-mile handicap chase at 3:35. Dextra Dove is the one they've all got to beat in the 3.25-mile Great Yorkshire. Brendan Powell is flying up from Newbury to partner the Grey, and we round off with that popular dual-purpose performer, Star Rage, in the 2-mile handicap hurdle.
Well, you know me, I'm not one to resort to cliches, but if I had to use one today, it was that punters are keeping their powder dry for the Cheltenham National Hunt Festival. Very light betting right round the country. All the officers report very modest investments indeed. So looking at the market movers, only light money, not much money has made these move, and Too Good to Be True in the Potemps Great Yorkshire Chase into 4-1 in places from 6-1. It was a 7-1 chance earlier in the week, and as we told you on the morning line, number 8, Merry Master. They nibbled at the 50-1 each way, but it's generally a 25-1 chance, Merry Master. And in our last, the 440, number 3, All Be Mine. The ground will suit that, 11-2 from top whack, 8-1, but good support for Old Star Rage, 13-8 favourite from 9-4. We've already had here 2 odds-on chances. I won't tell you what happened to them, but we've got a 3rd one here, Cab on Target, who was a 7-2 favourite when winning this a year ago. He was the 5th favourite in 13 runnings to oblige, and Cab on Target again favourite odds on. They bet the 5-4 on, bet the 11-8 on. Now Erol on 6-4 on. Number 4, Zamarib. That's the only one we backed against it from 5-1 into 9-2. It's an 11-2 Smith 2, 7 Ivy House, and 16-1 the Rag. 3 odds on chance we've had here at Donny. What's happened to the first 2? I hope you don't know, but more important, is Cab on Target going to win this for the 2nd time as favourite? Erol on, 6-4 on to do it.
You know, it's a very pleasant afternoon here at Doncaster, but as you know only too well, it's been a very cold winter. Over 80 meetings lost because of the frost and the snow. So today we'll be looking at a novel way of helping to save race meetings which are threatened by the cold weather. They cover football and rugby pitches, so why not race courses? And with millions of pounds lost because of the cold weather, could this be the answer? More on that later. It's very interesting as well. And today you've got about 5 minutes left before entries close for the Channel 4 Champion Tipster competition. How do you enter? Leslie has the details.
And that's on our 4 live races this afternoon, starting any moment with the 3 o'clock. 3 selections per race. Points, of course, scored according to starting prices by all finishers in the first 3. And the highest aggregate total wins a very well worthwhile £5 per point. To register your selections, ring now on 0891 991148.
It's amazing, we've got a real good crowd today, and the weather, as I said, isn't too bad. Obviously, it's still on the nippy side, but the ground is riding very perfect indeed. I was talking to the jocks who rode in the first 2 races. I won't tell you what happens. We'll be showing them a recording of those 2 after our first live race, but they said it's pretty fast, but there's a little bit of loose turf on top, so actually conditions ideal, although it's still riding fast. That should certainly suit Cab on Target, who heads the runners in our first live race coming up this afternoon, and it's a good race, but can Cab on Target win this Yellow Publication Handicap Hurdle for the 2nd year running? Before we close up on them, let's have the 5 runners for our commentator, Simon Holt.
Yes, good afternoon, Derek. Cab on Target's got 12 stone top weight, but he's the only horse in the race carrying his proper handicap weight here. Cab on Target, the 6-4 on favourite, Peter Niven rides. Number 2, Loxgavaig at 16-1, ridden by Jimmy Moffat. 3, Ivy House at 7-1 for Mark Dwyer. And then the second favourite, number 4, Zamharia at 9-2 under Paul Carberry. And the bottom one, number 5, Smith 2, Lorcan Wires mount at 6-1. Lorcan on the 49 winner mark for the season.
Well, let's have a look at the eye catchers, because Cab on Target certainly looked pretty good as he went past me, and there's our aerial shot and the eye catchers from way up above. Cab on Target, Cab on Target, Cab on Target. Need I say more? And let's see if Alistair Down and Jim McGrath agree.
Well, Cab on Target is not just a case of looking well. He looks absolutely magnificent, and no wonder the Reevely team and his owners adore this horse. He's been in the first 3 in 27 of his 32 races. Alistair, if the theory is right, and he looks though he retains his ability, he should win this.
Well, yes, he's a classy, good ground-staying hurdler. He's the only one in the weights proper. He's been off 98 days, but as Jim says, he looks absolutely in magnificent nick. And last time out, he got bogged down at Newbury in woeful ground behind Conquering Leader. But before that, he was a fair fourth at Cheltenham, and he won earlier at Wetherby. I mean, there's every reason to believe he's as good as he always has been, and he really should win this.
So if we're going to have an upset, which one is the most likely to cause it? Well, let's look at Ivy House, trained by John Joe O'Neill, ridden by Mark Dwyer, 2 pounds overweight. But Mark's worked very hard to get down to 10-2. Normally likes to ride at about 10-4 in the sauna last night and this morning. This horse has been a little bit disappointing this season. Initially campaigned over fences, and I don't think it was a case of that he didn't really take to them. It's as much as he was unlucky a couple of times early on, and it seemed pointless pursuing, and they could have a full campaign next year. 2 runs over hurdle since he's come back over timber. The first one was a reasonable effort at Wetherby, ran badly last time, has to be better than ever to beat an informed Cab on Target, and no real signs that he's about to produce that, in my opinion.
Well, one of the others, if there is to be a surprise, the second best in the market is Zamira, Wilf Story's contender, who definitely improved considerably for being stepped up to 3 miles the last time, when behind the last fling, beaten 5 lengths. And Wilf Story, small yard up here, concert way, I think, and goes to Cheltenham with an anti-post favourite at the festival. Another staying hurdler, Great Easby, who's joint equal favourite for the gold card. Zamira is improving, and that I would think would be the threat, though 16 pounds out of the weights.
Smith 2, Lorcan Wire in the blue and white stripes of Smith Mansfield Meat Company, and they've been great supporters of steeplechasing over the years. The horse got quite a bit warm, but I don't think that's a bad sign with him. He's quite a keen type. He's been prominent, or was prominent throughout, when winning 2 handicaps early in the season. The theory of this is he's got 8-11, so he's 17 pounds wrong in the weight, but let's point out there's only Cab on Target off the right mark, so between the other 4, so to speak, there shouldn't be much between them, and this fella's game, and will try hard if he's your selection to upset hot favourite. The one we haven't seen, Alistair, Loxgavaig, was a good mare at one stage. No money for her there. You can see 4-7 Cab on Target, 5 Zamaria, 6-1 Smith 2. You think she's likely to a resurgence here?
Well, 3 pulled ups this year doesn't argue for it. Let's see how Simon reads it.
And Smith 2 is the first to step away from the tapes, Alistair, on their 3 miles and a half a furlong journey in this Yellow Publications handicap hurdle. Smith 2 out clear as we take a bird's eye view on them as they approach their first of 11 flights. Way on the far side from the stands here, and Smith 2 in the blue and white striped jacket, worn by Lorcan Wire, and he's just the one more winner to reach his half-century for the season, having a great campaign. Ivy House was over in second, and then Cab on Target, this hot favourite, back in third from Loxgavaig, and at the rear of the field, Zamharia. A lengthy run now till they get to flight number 2, the first of 3 obstacles up the home straight. About a circuit and a half of Town Moor to cover in this first live race this afternoon, and it's Smith 2, a clear leader, 17 pounds wrong in the handicap. Wouldn't appear to give him much chance here, but just 7 days ago we had a horse called See Enough winning from 38 pounds out of the handicap at Kempton, so miracles can happen.